Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. Crystal here. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to make a video for you. And what I did was I solved the California house price question using Google Colab. And I wanted to go over with you how I did it with Google Colab. Because I think Google Colab is a very good Jupyter notebook to use because it is online, and so I can use Jupyter notebook anywhere I want. So what I did was I found this out. If you click onto the little file, okay, it says unable to connect to runtime, but it should. If you click onto the file, it says sample data. And it says California Housing Test CSV and California Housing Train CSV. And if you go to test, you can click onto the little three dots and you can copy the path for the test file and the train file. And then if you copy the path for the test file and the train file, you can read both of those files into Google Colab. So basically, if you want to learn how to use Google Colab, then you don't necessarily have to go out and find a data set to use, because Google Colab provides data sets for you to use just to get you used to it. So you've got the California housing prices and you've got the MNest, but I'm just focusing on the California house prices now. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over the code for this so you can solve the California house prices question. The first thing that we did is we imported pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So those are going to be some of the files some of the libraries that we're going to need to use while we're solving this question. And then after we did that, we're going to load the CSV file. We're going to load the train data set and the test data set. And here's the code to load the train data set and the test data set. So we look at the train file. It's 3,000 rows. And we look at the test file. It's 17,000 rows. So I'm not sure exactly why the train file had about a fifth of the rows that the test file had, because it's normally the train file has a lot of rows and the test file has a few rows. And the reason why is because whenever you are training data, you want to get as much data as possible to train on. So, and then the next thing that we're going to do is I decided that if you look at the train file and the test file, they're in the same format. They both have median house values. So I decided that I was going to append the test file to the train file. So train equals train.append test. So that meant I had 2,000 or 20,000 rows of data to work with. So I wanted to look at the information on the train file, and it was all float, so that's good. We don't have any object columns to worry about. It's just all numeric, so there's not a whole lot that you need to do with that. And then we wanted to check for any null values, and there were not any null values either, so this was a really good data set to use. It was all floats and no null values to impute. So we didn't have to do any ordinal encoding or anything. It's just numeric for us. And we didn't have to impute any null values. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a graphical analysis. So we're going to do a disk plot of the median house value. So you can see right here the median house value. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a scatter plot of the median income and the median house value. So it looks quite odd, but that's what it came up with. We're going to do a box plot of the housing median age and the median house value. So that's going to give you lots of box plots. So people who like scatter plots and box plots are going to like this because they're going to have a lot to analyze. Now what we have is we have a heat map, and so what this heat map does is this heat map shows how the independent variables relate to the dependent variables. So if you like heat maps, well, that's a good chart, a good graph to look at as well. So now what we've done is we've created a map, and I particularly like this. So we're going to create a map, and here's the coding to actually create the map. And this is the map that we have created. And so this, I guess it's California, but it's the map that has been created. And there's 20,000 little dots in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to define our X and our Y. So Y is train dot median house value dot values, and X equals train drop median house value axis equals 1. And then we're going to put X onto a scalar to scale it. So X equals scalar dot fit transform X. And now what we're going to do is we're going to split the X up for training and validation. So we use train test split and sklearn to do that. And we split it into a training set and a validation set, and our test size is 10%. And now what we do is we're going to define our model. I'm using Hist gradient boosting regressor because I really like that a lot. And we got a 99.41% accuracy when we were training on, when we fitted it on the X train, Y train. So now we're going to make predictions on the validation set. And when we predicted on the validation set, we had an 85.94% accuracy. And on the R-score model, we had 1, which was good. And now what I did was I created a little graph so you can compare the predicted values against the actual values. We put the graph on a data frame so you can compare the actual values against the predicted values, and you can, decide for yourself whether you think it was a good prediction. And that's it. That concludes this particular data set. It was a very easy data set to use because we didn't have any null values to impute. We didn't have any categorical values to encode. It was very easy to do. And then we've got quite a few graphs in there for you to analyze. So if you want to learn how to code, then I would highly suggest that you start out with California house prices in Google Colab. So what I'll do is I'll make a blog post on this, and when I make a blog post on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a copy of this code into my GitHub account, and I will leave the link to the code in my blog post. So if you want to get the code, then you will actually need to read my blog post to get the code. So if you like my video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to receive more videos that I make, if you hit the little bell button, you'll get notification whenever I make a video, because I was watching a YouTube video and the YouTube video just said that if you don't watch the videos, then YouTube will unsubscribe you. So you need to make sure that you watch the videos to stay subscribed. If you like the work I do and you want to make a donation, I've got my email address to my PayPal account in the description box down below. I don't have enough subscribers to monetize, so that's why I have to ask for donations. Otherwise, I won't make any money on this channel. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to making new videos for you in the future.